What this means is that the decision to deem the container irretrievable, while no doubt based on something, was not based on a professional assessment of the mine. What this means is that the cost of retrieving the container, which have been bandied around, have been based on propaganda to support the case that retrieving the container is impossible. What it means is that these former miners, their families, members of the media, our parliament, and the South African people have been subjected to one of the most elaborate lies in the history of our nation. I'm here today, alongside these brave South Africans, to announce that our legal teams will now begin the work of implementing a legal strategy that will force our government to retrieve that container.
4 years and 7 months later, the families of Solomon Nyerende, Yvonne Mnisi, and Priti Nkambule still have no closure. The 3 miners are still trapped in Lily Mine, Barberton, Mpumalanga, after a container they were in sunk to the ground. The Department of Labour and that of Mineral Resources and Energy came to the conclusion that the container cannot be recovered. But the recent investigations made by Herman Mashaba's legal team have proven otherwise. The party vows to be hot on the heels of government and will not let this matter rest.
We have an inquiry that makes no scientific inquiry and investigation into the irretrievability of the container, yet it makes a finding that the container is irretrievable. We are embarking on a legal approach that will force this government that has assisted people in Chile in 2010 to retrieve bodies hundreds of meters under the ground, but is slack in retrieving bodies a few meters underground in its own country.
For the families of the 3 miners, there's now a glimmer of hope.
With the assistance of Mr. Mashaba, now the government is working, because before we get Mr. Mashaba, they were not taking us serious. Since Mr. Mashaba gave us lawyers, they are now doing their job. They are now shaking some of the government officials. So with his assistance, this thing is doable. We will achieve that goal, and we really appreciate Mr. Mashaba's effort.
Action SA has vowed to fight tooth and nail to hold mine management and the relevant departments accountable. Meanwhile, the family remains hopeful that they will soon get some form of closure. Natasha Piri, SABC News, Johannesburg.